Welcome back. I'm so excited to get started. This is the book of Numbers. Um, let's look at the chapters, okay? And I think we'll follow the same thing we've been doing. So I'll read from 1 through 5. That means this series will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos in it. And I will read 5 chapters at a time. I think that was working for us. So I'm just going to read them in a succession, as many as I can today. So if you see me in the same clothes, that's why I read them all in succession, as many as I could. And yeah, let's get started. Let's dive in. So Numbers 1, the first census of Israel. The Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the tent of meeting on the first day of the second month in the second year after they had come out of the land of Egypt, saying, take a census of the whole congregation of Israelites in their clans by ancestral houses, according to the number of names, every male individually from 20 years old and upward, everyone in Israel able to go to war. You and Aaron shall enroll them company by company. A man from each tribe shall be with you, each man the head of his ancestral house. These are the names of the men who shall assist you. From Reuben, Elazar, son of Shedeur. From Simeon, Shelemiel, son of Zurishaddai. I'm going to butcher these names. I'm going to tell you that right now. From Judah, Nahshon, son of Amminadab. From Issachar, Nathaniel, son of Zuar. From Zebulun, Eliab, son of Helon. From the sons of Joseph. From Ephraim, Elishama, son of Ammihud. From Manasseh, Gamaliel, son of Pedazur. From Benjamin, Abidan, son of Gideoni. From Dan, Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. From Asher, Pagiel, son of Ochran. From Gad, Eliasaph, son of Deuel. From Naphtali, Ahira, son of Enan. These were the ones chosen from the congregation, the leaders of their ancestral tribes, the heads of the divisions of Israel. Moses and Aaron took these men who had been designated by name, and on the first day of the second month, they assembled the whole congregation together. They registered themselves in their clans by their ancestral houses, according to the number of names from 20 years old and upward, individually, as the Lord commanded Moses. So he enrolled them in the wilderness of Sinai. Okay. The descendants of Reuben, Israel's firstborn, their lineage in their clans by their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, individually, every male from 20 years old and upward, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled of the tribe of Reuben were 46,500. The descendants of Simeon, their lineage in their clans by their ancestral houses, those of them that were numbered according to the number of names individually, every male from 20 years old and upward, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled of the tribe of Simeon were 59,300. The descendants of Gad, their lineage in their clans by their ancestral houses, according to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upward, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled of the tribe of Gad were 45,650. The descendants of Judah, their lineage in their clans by their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and upward, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled of the tribe of Judah were 74,600. The descendants of Issachar, their lineage in their clans by their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and upward, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled of the tribe of Issachar were 54,400. The descendants of Zebulun, their lineage in their clans by their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and upward, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled of the tribe of Zebulun were 57,400. The descendants of Joseph, namely the descendants of Ephraim, their lineage in their clans, by their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and upward, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled of the tribe of Ephraim were 40,500. The descendants of Manasseh, their lineage in their clans, by their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and upward, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled of the tribe of Manasseh were 32,200. The descendants of Benjamin, their lineage in their clans, by their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and upward, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled of the tribe of Benjamin were 35,400. The descendants of Dan, their lineage in their clans, by their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and upward, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled of the tribe of Dan were 62,700. The descendants of Asher, their lineage in their clans, by their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and upward, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled of the tribe of Asher were 41,500. The descendants of Naphtali, their lineage in their clans, by their ancestral houses, according to the number of names, from 20 years old and upward, everyone able to go to war. Those enrolled of the tribe of Naphtali were 53,400. These are those who were enrolled, whom Moses and Aaron enrolled with the help of the leaders of Israel, 12 men, each representing his ancestral house. So the whole number of the Israelites, by their ancestral houses, from 20 years old and upward, everyone able to go to war in Israel, their whole number was 603,550. The Levites, however, were not numbered by their ancestral tribe along with them. The Lord had said to Moses, only the tribe of Levi you shall not enroll, and you shall not take a census of them with the other Israelites. Rather, you shall appoint the Levites over the tabernacle of the covenant, and over all its equipment, and over all that belongs to it. And they are to carry the tabernacle and all its equipment, and they shall tend it, and shall camp around the tabernacle. When the tabernacle is set out, the Levites shall take it down. And when the tabernacle is to be pitched, the Levites shall set it up. And any outsider who comes near shall be put to death. The other Israelites shall camp in their respective regimental camps by companies. But the Levites shall camp around the tabernacle of the covenant. And there may be no wrath on the congregation of the Israelites. And the Levites shall perform the guard duty of the tabernacle of the covenant. The Israelites did so. They did just as the Lord commanded Moses. Numbers 2. The order of encampment and marching. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, the Israelites shall camp each in their respective regiments, under ensigns by their ancestral houses. They shall camp facing the tent of meeting on every side. Those to camp on the east side toward the sunrise shall be of the regimental encampment of Judah by companies. The leader of the people of Judah shall be Nahshon, son of Amminadab, with a company as enrolled of 74,600. Those to camp next to him shall be the tribe of Issachar. The leader of the Issacharites shall be Nathanael, son of Zuar, with a company as enrolled of 54,400. Then the tribe of Zebulun. The leader of the Zebulunites shall be Eliab, son of Helon, with a company as enrolled of 57,400. The total enrollment of the camp of Judah by companies is 186,400. They shall set out first on the march. On the south side shall be the regimental encampment of Reuben by companies. So I just got this, just the scale of the amount of people, over 600,000 people ready to fight in a war. And this is all ancient times, right? Man, that's a whole lot of people. That is like several cities worth of people coming to fight. That had to be really frightening. It really did have to see that many. able-bodied warriors, you know. On the south side shall be the regimental encampment of Reuben by companies. The leader of the Reubenites shall be Elazar, son of Shedeur, with a company as enrolled of 46,500. And those to camp next to him shall be the tribe of Simeon. The leader of the Simeonites shall be Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai, with a company as enrolled of 59,300. Then the tribe of Gad. The leader of the Gadites shall be Eliasaph, son of Reuel, with a company as enrolled of 45,650. The total enrollment of the camp of Reuben by companies is 151,450. They shall set out second. The tent of meeting with the camp of the Levites shall set out in the center of the camps. They shall set out as they camp, each in position by their regiments. On the west side shall be the regimental encampment of Ephraim by companies. The leader of the people of Ephraim shall be Elishama, son of Amihud, with a company as enrolled of 40,500. Next to him shall be the tribe of Manasseh. The leader of the people of Manasseh shall be Gamaliel, son of Pedazur, with a company as enrolled of 32,200. Then the tribe of Benjamin. The leader of the Benjaminites shall be Abidan, son of Gideoni, with a company as enrolled of 35,400. The total enrollment of the camp of Ephraim by companies is 108,100. They shall set out on the march. On the north side shall be the regimental encampment of Dan by companies. The leader of the Danites shall be Ahiezer, son of Amishadai, with a company as enrolled of 62,700. Those to camp next to him shall be the tribe of Asher. The leader of the Asherites shall be Pagiel, son of Okran, with a company as enrolled of 41,500. Then the tribe of Naphtali. The leader of the Naphtalites shall be Ahira, son of Enan, with a company as enrolled of 53,400. The total enrollment of the camp of Dan is 157,600. They shall set out last by companies. This was the enrollment of the Israelites by their ancestral houses. The total enrollment on the camps by their companies was 603,550. Just as the Lord had commanded Moses, the Levites were not enrolling among the other Israelites. The Israelites did just as the Lord had commanded Moses. They encamped by regiments and set out the same way, everyone by clans, according to ancestral houses. Okay. Number 3, the sons of Aaron. This is the lineage of Aaron and Moses at the time when the Lord spoke with Moses on Mount Sinai. These are the names of the sons of Aaron: Nadab, the firstborn, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. These are the names of the sons of Aaron, the anointed priests, whom he ordained to minister as priests. Nadab and Abihu died before the Lord when they offered illicit fire before the Lord in the wilderness of Sinai, and they had no children. Eleazar and Ithamar served as priests in the lifetime of their father Aaron. The duties of the Levites. When the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Bring the tribe of Levi near and set them before Aaron the priest, so that they may assist him. They shall perform duties for him and for the whole congregation in front of the tent of meeting, doing service at the tabernacle. They shall be in charge of all the furnishings of the tent of meeting and attend to the duties for the Israelites as they do service at the tabernacle. You shall give the Levites to Aaron and his descendant. You shall give the Levites to Aaron and his descendants. They are unreservedly given to him from among the Israelites. But you shall make a register of Aaron and his descendants. It is they who shall attend to the priesthood, and any outsider who comes near shall be put to death." Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "I hereby accept the Levites from among the Israelites as substitutes for all the firstborn that open the womb among the Israelites. The Levites shall be mine, for all the firstborn are mine. When I killed all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I consecrated for my own all the firstborn in Israel, both human and animal, they shall be mine. I am the Lord. When I killed all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I consecrated for my own all the firstborn in Israel, both human and animal. They shall be mine. I am the Lord. I hereby accept the Levites from among the Israelites as substitutes for all the firstborn that open the womb among the Israelites. So it's like he accepted them as their ongoing like a free will offering. I'd like to go back and look at that and actually compare because I feel like that information is there, right? I hereby accept the Levites from among the Israelites as substitutes for all the firstborn that opened the womb among the Israelites. So when the crops are planted and harvest comes, the first harvest, the Lord said that he wanted the first, all your first fruits, your first, the first from your harvest and stuff should be reserved for the Lord. So he's considering the Levites a substitute for the firstborn that opened the womb among the Israelites. They are the substitute. That's very interesting to me. All the firstborn are mine. When I killed all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I consecrated for my own all the firstborn in Israel. So all those that were firstborn. The 12 tribes. Firstborn in Israel, the 12 tribes. That's how I'm reading that. Let me know if you have a different interpretation of that. I'm interpreting the firstborn in Israel as the tribe that those 12 tribes. That's very interesting. I hereby accept the Levites from among the Israelites as substitutes for all the firstborn that open the womb among the Israelites. The Levites shall be mine, for all the firstborn are mine. When I killed all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I consecrated for my own all the firstborn in Israel, both human and animal. It shall be mine. I am the Lord. A census of the Levites. When the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, saying, enroll the Levites by ancestral houses and by clans. You shall enroll every male from a month old and upward. So Moses enrolled them according to the word of the Lord, as he was commanded. The following were the sons of Levi by their names: Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. These were the names of the sons of Gershon by their clans: Libni and Shimei. The sons of Kohath by their clans: Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. The sons of Merari by their clans: Mali, Mushi. These are the clans of the Levites by their ancestral houses. To Gershon belonged the clan of the Libnites and the clan of the Shimeites. These were the clans of the Gershonites. Their enrollment counted all the males from a month old and upward was 7,500. The clans of the Gershonites were to camp behind the tabernacle in the west, with Eliasaph, son of Lael, as head of the ancestral house of the Gershonites. The responsibility of the sons of Gershon in the tent of meeting was to be the tabernacle, the tent with its covering, the screen for the entrance of the tent of meeting, the hangings of the court, the screen for the entrance of the court that is around the tabernacle, and the altar and its cords, all the service pertaining to these. The Kohath belonged to Kohath belonged the clan of the Amramites, the clan of the Izharites, the clan of the Hebronites, and the clan of the Uzzielites. These are the clans of the Kohathites. Counting all the males from a month old and upward, there were 8,600 attending to the duties of the sanctuary. The clans of the Kohathites were to camp on the south side of the tabernacle with Elizaphan, son of Uzziel, as head of the ancestral house of the clans of the Kohathites. Their responsibility was to be the ark, the table, the lampstand, the altars, the vessels of the sanctuary with which the priests minister, and the screen, all the service pertaining to these. Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, was to be chief over the leaders of the Levites and have oversight of those who had charge of the sanctuary. To Mercari belonged the clan of the Mahalites and the clan of the Mushites. These are the clans of the Merari. Their enrollment, counting all the males from a month old and upward, was 6,200. The head of the ancestral houses of the clans of Merari was Zuriel, son of Abihail. They were to camp on the north side of the tabernacle. The responsibility assigned to the sons of Merari was to be the frames of the tabernacle, the bars, the pillars, the bases, and all their accessories, all the service pertaining to these. Also the pillars of the court all around with their bases and pegs and cords. I wondered whose job it was going to be to take care of that stuff. Well, now we know. Those who were to camp in front of the tabernacle on the east, in front of the tent of meeting toward the east, were Moses and Aaron's sons, having charge of the rites within the sanctuary. Whatever had to be done for the Israelites, and any outsider who came near was to be put to death. Whatever had to be done for the Israelites, and any outsider who came near was to be put to death. The total enrollment of the Levites whom Moses and Aaron enrolled at their commandment of the Lord by their clans, all the males from a month old upward, was 22,000. The redemption of the firstborn. Then the Lord said to Moses, enroll all the firstborn males of the Israelites from a month old and upward, and count their names. But you shall accept the Levites for me. I am the Lord, as substitutes for all the firstborn among the Israelites, and the livestock of the Levites as substitutes for all the firstborn among the livestock of the Israelites. So Moses enrolled all the firstborn among the Israelites, and the Lord commanded him. The total enrollment, all the firstborn males from a month old and upward, counting the number of names, was 22,273. The firstborn males, 22,273. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, accept the Levites as substitutes for all the firstborn among the Israelites, and the livestock of the Levites as substitutes for their livestock, and the Levites shall be mine. I am the Lord. As the price of redemption of the 273 of the firstborn of the Israelites, over and above the number of the Levites, you shall accept 5 shekels apiece, reckoning by the shekel of the sanctuary, a shekel of 20 gerahs. Give to Aaron and his sons the money by which the excess number of them is redeemed. So Moses took the redemption money from those who were over and above those redeemed by the Levites. From the firstborn of the Israelites, he took the money, 1,365 shekels, reckoned by the shekel of the sanctuary. And Moses gave the redemption money to Aaron and his sons, according to the word of the Lord, as the Lord had commanded Moses. So it sounds like the money was the overpayment, the credit for the overpayment, because there was way more of those people than there were the firstborns that were killed, right? There were way more firstborn Israelites than there were firstborns that were killed in Egypt. So the difference in people, they had everyone pay 5 shekels per person for everyone over those people that were killed, right? For all the firstborn Israelites over that number that were killed, they had to pay 5 shekels a piece to reckon. They had to pay 5 shekels a piece. And Aaron redeemed it by receiving that money. Okay, that's what that sounds like to me. The Lord had killed all those firstborns in Egypt. He, to substitute that, I guess that sounds like the eye for an eye thing, right? So to substitute that firstborn, killing all the firstborns, not killing them and sacrificing them, right? To substitute sacrificing the firstborns, because that was one of the things that the Lord said, that he did not agree, and he never told anybody to sacrifice their children to him. He never told anyone to sacrifice their kids to him, to kill the children. He never told anyone to do that. So even in this case, he accepted it as a substitution and took money and had the rest redeemed for cash. You know, right? I missed one. Sorry. Numbers 4. The Kohathites. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, take a census of the Kohathites, separate from the other Levites, by their clans and their ancestral houses, from 30 years old up to 50 years old, all who qualify to do work relating to the tent of meeting. The service of the Kohathites relating to the tent of meeting concerns the most holy things. When the camp is to set out, Aaron and his son shall go in and take down the screening curtain and cover the Ark of the Covenant with it, and they shall put on it a covering of fine leather, and spread over that a cloth olive blue, and shall put its poles in place. Over the table of the bread of the presence, they shall spread a blue cloth, and put on it the plates, the dishes for the incense, the bowls, and the flagons for the drink offering. The regular bread also shall be on it. Then they shall spread over them a crimson cloth, and cover it with a covering of fine leather, and shall put its poles in place. They shall take a blue cloth and cover the lampstand for the light with its lamps, its snuffers, its trays, and all the vessels for oil with which it is supplied, and they shall put it with all its utensils in a covering of fine leather, and put it on the carrying frame. Over the golden altar they shall spread a blue cloth and cover it with a covering of fine leather, and shall put its poles in place. And they shall take all the utensils of the service that are used in the sanctuary, and put them in a blue cloth, and cover them with a covering of fine leather, and put them on the carrying frame. They shall take away the ashes from the altar, and spread a purple cloth over it. And they shall put on it all the utensils of the altar, which are used for the service there, the fire pans, the forks, the shovels, and the basins, all the utensils of the altar. And they shall spread on it a covering of fine leather, and shall put its poles in place. When Aaron and his sons have finished covering the sanctuary and all the furnishings of the sanctuary as the camp sets out, after that the Kohathites shall come to carry these, but they must not touch the holy things, or they will die. These are the things of the tent of meeting that the Kohathites are to carry. Oh man, don't touch the holy things. Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, shall have charge of the oil for the light. Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, shall have charge of the oil for the light, the fragrant incense, the regular grain offering, and the anointing oil, the oversight of all the tabernacle and all that is in it, in the sanctuary and in its utensils. Then the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, "You must not let the tribe of the clans of the Kohathites be destroyed from among the Levites. You must not let the tribe of the clans of the Kohathites be destroyed from the Levites. This is how you must deal with them in order that they may live and not die when they come near to the most holy things. Aaron and his son shall go in and assign each to a particular task or burden. But the Kohathites must not go in to look on the holy things, even for a moment, otherwise they will die." And that was Aaron and his job. Aaron and his son's job to keep the Kohathites from dying, apparently. The good, like he was like he knew that they were not going to do right. He knew that they were not going to adhere to the rules and they'd be curious or whatever. And that was not the place to be curious. The Gershonites and the Merarites. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Take a census of the Gershonites also by their ancestral houses and by their clans, from 30 years old up to 50 years old. You shall enroll them, all who qualify to do work in the tent of meeting. This is the service of the clans of the Gershonites, in serving and bearing burdens. They shall carry the curtains of the tabernacle and the tent of meeting with its covering, and the outer covering of fine leather that is on top of it, and the screen for the entrance of the tent of meeting, and the hangings of the court, and the screen for the entrance of the gate of the court that is around the tabernacle, and the altar, and their cords, and all the equipment for the service. And they shall do all that needs to be done with regard to them. All the service of the Gershonites shall be at the command of Aaron and his sons, in all that they are to carry and in all that they have to do. And you shall assign to their charge all that they are to carry. This is the service of the clans of the Gershonites relating to the tent of meeting, and their responsibilities are to be under the oversight of Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. As for the Merarites, you shall enroll them by their clans and their ancestral houses. From 30 years old up to 50 years old, you shall enroll them, everyone who qualifies to do the work of the tent of meeting. This is what they are charged to carry. As the whole of their service in the tent of meeting, the frames of the tabernacle with its bars, pillars, and bases, and the pillars of the court all around with the bases, pegs, and cords, with all their equipment and all their related service. And you shall assign by name the objects that they are required to carry. This is the service of the clans of the Merarites, the whole of the service relating to the tent of meeting under the hand of Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. Census of the Levites. So Moses and Aaron and the leaders of the congregation enrolled the Kohathites by their clans and their ancestral houses, from 30 years old up to 50 years old, everyone who qualified for work relating to the tent of meeting. And their enrollment by clans was 2,750. This was the enrollment of the clans of the Kohathites, all who served at the tent of meeting, whom Moses and Aaron enrolled according to the commandment of the Lord by Moses. The enrollment of the Gershonites by their clans and their ancestral houses, from 30 years old up to 50 years old, everyone who qualified for work relating to the tent of meeting. Their enrollment by their clan and their ancestral houses was 2,630. This was the enrollment of the clans of the Gershonites, and all who served at the tent of meeting, whom Moses and Aaron enrolled according to the commandment of the Lord. The enrollment of the clans of the Merarites by their clans and their ancestral houses, from 30 years old up to 50 years old, everyone who qualified for work relating to the tent of meeting. Their enrollment by the clans was 3,200. This is the enrollment of the clans of the Merarites, whom Moses and Aaron enrolled according to the commandment of the Lord by Moses. All those who were enrolled by the Levites, whom Moses and Aaron and the leaders of Israel enrolled by their clans and their ancestral houses, from 30 years old up to 50 years old, everyone who qualified to do the work of service and the work of bearing burdens relating to the tent of meeting, their enrollment was 8,580. According to the commandment of the Lord through Moses, they were appointed to their several tasks of serving or carrying. Thus they were enrolled by him, as the Lord commanded Moses. Number 5, this is our last chapter in this video. Be sure to subscribe and like my videos if you are finding them entertaining or valuable. They help me to continue to do them. Number 5, unclean persons. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, command the Israelites to put out of the camp everyone who is leprous or has a discharge, and everyone who is unclean through contact with a corpse. You shall put out both male and female, putting them outside the camp. They must not defile their camp, where I dwell among them. The Israelites did so, putting them outside the camp as the Lord had spoken to Moses. So the Israelites did. Confession and restitution. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the Israelites. When a man or woman wrongs another, breaking faith with the Lord, that person incurs guilt and shall confess the sin that has been committed. The person shall make full restitution for the wrong, adding 1/5 to it and giving it to the one who was wronged. If the injured party has no next of kin to whom restitution may be made for the wrong, the restitution for wrong shall go to the Lord for the priest, in addition to the ram of atonement with which atonement is made for the guilty party. Among all the sacred donations of the Israelites, every gift that they bring to the priest shall be his. The sacred donations of all are their own. Whatever anyone gives to the priest shall be his. There's a few things I see in this. I kind of see, so first of all, I definitely see, reconciliation, right? The Lord wants you to reconcile with people that you've done wrong against or who have done wrong against you. He wants people to reconcile, but he also wants you to pay back the damages that you caused. Whatever the damage was that you caused, you should pay it back. You should do something to pay back what that damage was. And you shouldn't just get away with, oh man, yeah, I did that, and that would cost me a lot. It would cause me a hardship, so I don't know how I would pay it. Like, that's a thing that you would need to figure out. How do you make it right with that other person? And that's just the right thing to do. It's just the right thing to do, to reconcile your relationships when they go wrong. Decide that you don't want to speak to that person any longer, or even if you never end up friends again, at least you squash whatever the problem was. There's no problem anymore, right? That's how I see it. And I do that. I reconcile with people in my life unless I can't. If I can't reconcile with someone in my life, either because I can't get past an issue of trust because of something they did, or because they won't let me, then I still forgive them. They're not a person I would let back into my circle or in my life, but I still take the reconciliation seriously. And I own up to my part in it, and I own up to what I could have done better, even if they don't. My job in doing that is not to get them to do that. My job in doing that is to be right with my Lord, and to come to that person sincerely and authentically and open in my heart and with love, the love that I want to show my neighbor, right? And so as long as I come to the table with that, however it's received, the Lord sees what I gave, right? So this I really like. Make things right with people. Concerning an unfaithful wife. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the Israelites and say to them, if any man's wife goes astray and is unfaithful to him, if a man has had intercourse with her, but it is hidden from her husband, so that she is undetected, though she has defiled herself, and there is no witness against her since she was not caught in the act. If a spirit of jealousy comes on him, and he is jealous of his wife who has defiled herself, or if a spirit of jealousy comes on him, and he is jealous of his wife, though she has not defiled herself. So even if you suspect your wife and you were jealous, jealousy comes on you as a man, and you're jealous of your wife, even though she's not defiled herself, she didn't do anything, then the man shall bring his wife to the priest, and he shall bring the offering required for her, 1/10 of an ephah of barley flour. He shall pour no oil on it and put no frankincense on it, for it is a grain offering of jealousy, a grain offering of remembrance, bringing iniquity to remembrance. Oh, wow. Bringing your iniquity to remembrance. I think that's important, that if you do break one of God's laws, break one of the commandments, that you do bring it to remembrance what you did. Bring it to remembrance. Then the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Lord. The priest shall take holy water in an earthen vessel and take some of the dust that is on the floor of the tabernacle and put it into the water. The priest shall set the woman before the Lord, dishevel the woman's hair, and place in her hands the grain offering of remembrance, which is the grain offering of jealousy. In his own hand, the priest shall have the water of bitterness that brings the curse. Then the priest shall make her take an oath, saying, if no man has lain with you, if you have not turned aside to uncleanness while under your husband's authority, be immune to this water of bitterness that brings the curse. But if you have gone astray while under your husband's authority, if you have defiled yourself, and some man other than your husband has had intercourse with you, let the priest make the woman take the oath of the curse and say to the woman, the Lord make you an execration and an oath among your people. When the Lord makes your uterus drop, your womb discharge, now may this water that brings the curse enter your bowels and make your womb discharge, your uterus drop. And the woman shall say, amen, amen. Wow. The Lord makes your uterus drop and your womb discharge. Now may this water that brings the curse under your bowels and make your womb discharge, your uterus drop. And the woman shall say, amen, amen. So if she's guilty, if she has indeed committed that crime of adultery or unfaithfulness, right, to her husband, and has secretly been with someone, then that would cause her uterus to drop and her womb to discharge. Then the priest shall put these curses in writing and wash them off into the water of bitterness. He shall make the woman drink the water of bitterness that brings the curse, and the water that brings the curse shall enter her and cause bitter pain. The priest shall take the grain offering of jealousy out of the woman's hand, and shall elevate the grain offering before the Lord and bring it to the altar. And the priest shall take a handful of the grain offering as its memorial portion and turn it into smoke on the altar, and afterward shall make the woman drink the water. When he has made her drink the water, then, if she has defiled herself and has been unfaithful to her husband, the water that brings the curse shall enter into her and cause bitter pain, and her womb shall discharge, her uterus drop, and the woman shall become an execration among her people. I want to look that up. Execration meaning? The act of cursing or denouncing. Let's look up the biblical meaning. Something declared loathed or hated. Loathed or hated. Act of cursing, it says. So then he also said, you know, he doesn't want people to curse anyone anymore. Okay. She shall become an execration among her people. So hated, loathed among her people. But if the woman has not defiled herself and is clean, then she shall be immune and be able to conceive children. So she wouldn't be able to conceive children anymore if she had been unfaithful to her husband. This is the law in cases of jealousy. When a wife, while under her husband's authority, goes astray and defiles herself, or when a spirit of jealousy comes on a man and he is jealous of his wife, then he shall set the woman before the Lord, and the priest shall apply this entire law to her. The man shall be free from iniquity. The woman shall bear her iniquity. If she's wrong, she bears her iniquity. But I wonder if they're going to say something about what happens to the man, because something does happen to the man when he has a jealous spirit, and when because remember, these things are afflictions. These are afflictions. If you've been afflicted with jealousy, you know what I'm saying? There's a reason around that. And that was caused for a purpose. So that was chapter 5. We're done with this video. I will see you for numbers 6 through 10. Talk to you soon. See you there.